Hello, good evening, all. Please confirm you can hear me clearly.
We can hear you.
All right. Sorry, I've been trying to log on for almost 8 minutes. The network strength is a bit weak today, I don't know. Albeit, we try to manage the variables. Our lecture tonight is on foreign currency risk management. Our lecture tonight is on foreign currency risk management. As much as possible, I will request is the network. My volume is 100%. Oh no. All right. Please, can you reconfirm the volume now?
Yes, we can hear you clearly, sir.
Okay, that's great. That's great. All right, I said tonight we are looking at foreign currency risk management. I'm going to request every student to listen to the explanation very well. Tonight, we are going to establish the principles around foreign currency. Once the principle is established, and you are able to understand the principle, you can look at the table of contents. You have the soft copy. Once the principle is established, and you are able to understand this principle, calculation becomes the person might struggle with it. All right. Let's go to the why is this please let's go on with the class. It was a temporary network glitch. Why is this topic important to us? Country transact business with one another. Nigeria transact business with other countries. Other countries transact business with Nigeria. Individual country has its own currency. Individual country has its own currency. The currency of Nigeria is Naira. The currency of Ghana, cedis. The currency of South Africa, rand. These currencies are not equal in value. One Naira is not equal to $1. One Naira is not equal to £1. If a Nigerian company is to transact business in UK, a Nigerian company is to buy raw material from UK, to convert Nigerian Naira to British currency. That means there must be a conversion rate. There must be a conversion rate at which Naira will be converted to pounds. That conversion rate is the exchange rate. In other words, you can define exchange rate as the number of units of a given currency I will advise you to check your device, Charity. This volume is 100%. You can define exchange rates as, okay, please, Can somebody reconfirm? What is the volume like?
So your volume
It's
is
loud
very
and clear,
clear.
sir.
Volume is very loud and clear.
Very loud and clear.
Very loud and clear.
Yes, sir.
Charity, go and reconfirm your device. My volume here is 100%. In fact, I'm speaking at the top of my voice. So please handle your transaction in your house. We said exchange rates. You can define your exchange rate as the number of units of a given currency that can purchase 1 unit of another currency. I'll take that again, exchange rate. The number of units of one country currency that can exchange for 1 unit of another country currency. For example, 1,000 naira to $1. Number of naira needed to buy 1 unit of dollar. That is the exchange rate between naira and dollar. The number of units of one country currency that can purchase 1 unit currency is called your exchange rate. These exchange rates can be stated either direct or indirect. Exchange rates can be quoted either direct or indirect. Indirect quotation. This is when exchange rate is stated in terms of the number of units of local currency that can buy 1 unit of foreign currency. Direct quotation. This is when the exchange rate is expressed or stated in terms of the number of units of local currency, domestic currency, that can buy 1 unit of foreign currency. For example, 1,750 naira that is direct quote. Look at it. I'm trying to pick my pen. Please look at this. 1,750 naira is equal to $1. This is direct quote. Naira is our local currency. Dollar is a foreign currency. Where exchange rate is stated in terms of the number of units of domestic currency that can exchange for 1 unit of foreign currency. That is direct quote. Number 2, indirect quote. Deliberately, we are not rushing this explanation. Deliberately, we are taking it gradual. Indirect quote. The exchange rate is stated in terms of the number of units of foreign currencies that can exchange for 1 unit of domestic currency. That is indirect quote. For example, 5 cedis equal 1 naira. Cedis is foreign currency. Naira is local currency. The number of units of foreign currency that can buy 1 unit of local currency is indirect quote. That means you require 5 cedis to be able to buy 1 naira. This is indirect quote. You can also do like this. Dollar, $0.002 equal 1 naira. The quantity of dollar, units of dollar that can exchange for 1 naira. This is indirect quotation. Please note, relationship between direct and indirect quotes is reciprocal. Please note, the relationship between direct quotes and indirect quotes is reciprocal, meaning direct quotes is equal to 1 over indirect quotes. Indirect quotes is equal to 1 over direct quotes. Direct quote is equal to 1 over indirect quote. Indirect quote is equal to 1 over direct quote. Ignore this. Ignore this. We don't need this. We have defined exchange rates. We have explained the two types of exchange rate quotation. Our next explanation. The rules for the buying and selling of foreign currencies. Rules that govern buying and selling of foreign currency. Rule number 1. Exchange rates are quoted from the viewpoint of the bank. In other words, exchange rates are quoted to favor the bank. Number 2, when the customer buys currency, bank will sell. When the customer buys foreign currency, bank will sell foreign currency. And when the customer sells foreign currency, bank will buy foreign currency. Let us explain that briefly. There must be a buyer. There must be a seller. When the customer is the company. When the customer is buying foreign currency, bank will sell foreign currency. And when the customer is selling foreign currency, bank will buy foreign currency. You must identify the buyer and the seller. You must identify the buyer and the seller. Rule number 3. In a direct quote, the bank buys at lower rates and sell at higher rates. Please listen to this. When you are giving, if the exchange rate is quoted directly, bank will buy at a low rate and sell at high rates. If you are giving direct quotes in your question, and the bank is willing to buy currency, bank will buy at the lower rates. If the bank is willing to sell currency, bank will sell at higher rates. In an indirect quote, the bank buys at higher rates and sell at lower rates. All right. Next discussion. Terms and terminologies. The terms and terminology associated with foreign currency. 1. Spot rates. Spot rates is the exchange rates for immediate foreign transaction. Spot rates. The rates for immediate foreign transaction. For example, if you are to buy dollar now, the exchange rate between naira and dollar now is called spot rate. So if you are to buy dollar or you are to sell dollar now, that exchange rate that applies now is your spot exchange rate. Number next, forward rates. The forward rate is the exchange rate between two currencies. Exchange rate between two currencies set on one particular day for delivery at future specified dates. I will take that again. Forward exchange rates. Exchange rates agrees between two currencies today, but for delivery at a future specified date. That is the forward rate. Let us illustrate briefly. Assuming you are to make payments in 1 month's time, you are to make payments on 1st May. Today is 30th March. You are required to make payments in dollars on 1st May. You can approach your bank today to agree an exchange rate. You are going to agree exchange rate today for the payments you are planning to make on 1st of May. That exchange rate agrees between two currencies, naira and dollar today, for delivery at a future specified date is called forward exchange rate. The forward exchange rates are usually quoted or are often quoted as a discount or premium. Forward rates are usually quoted at a discount or at a premium to the spot rates. Forward rates are usually quoted at a premium or at a discount to the spot rates. Where your forward rate is higher than the spot rate, where your forward rate is higher than your spot rate, this implies that the spot rate is quoted at a premium forward. Where your forward rate is higher than your spot rate, it means that that spot rate is quoted at a premium forward. But if the forward rate is lesser than the spot rate, this implies that the spot rate is quoted at a discount forward. So you can have premium forward or discount forward. You can calculate your annual forward premium or discount, annualized forward premium or forward discounts with the formula on your screen. Forward rates minus spot rates divided by your spot rates multiplied by 12. 12 is 1 year, 12 months, divided by number of months forward. It can be 2 months forward, 3 months forward. You can calculate in percentage annualized forward premium or discount. Ignore the illustration. This is not important now. No, it is not important. Our next discussion, cross rates. We have explained spot rates. We have explained forward rates. Our next discussion, cross rates. What is cross rates? Cross exchange rates is the implied exchange rates between two currencies. Implied exchange rates between two currencies. Say currency A and currency B. Based upon their explicit relationship with the third currency. I'll take that again. Cross exchange rates is the implied, this is the implied exchange rate between two currencies based upon their relationship with the third currency. It is the exchange rate between two currencies derived from their relationship with a third currency. Let's illustrate this briefly. Look at this. Dollar to pound. Dollar to pound is 1.5060. Yen to pound. Let me draw an arrow so that it can be more clearer. Let me draw an arrow here. Look at this triangle. You have pounds here. We have dollar here. You have Japanese yen. Dollar to pound is equal to 1.5060. That means you require $1.5060 to buy 1 pound. Japanese yen to pound, 264. You require 264 Japanese yen to buy 1 pound. There's exchange rate between United States dollar and pound sterling. There's exchange rate between Japanese yen and pound sterling. But there's no direct exchange rate between dollar and yen. There's no direct exchange rate between United States dollar and Japanese yen. If you are required to calculate Japanese yen to dollar, that becomes cross rate. The implied exchange rate between Japanese yen and United States dollar based upon their relationship with pound sterling. If you are to do this now, that becomes cross rate. I want to get Japanese yen to dollar. I know that, let me take this down small. All right. Look at this. Dollar to pounds. $1.506 is equal to 1 pound. Yen, 264 yen is equal to 1 pound. What is yen to dollar? That is cross rate. You can now say yen to dollar. Yen over dollar now. Look at it. That would be, my yen is 246. 246, 264 over my dollar is 1.506. $1.5060. If you work this out, that will give you Japanese yen to dollar. If you work this out, that will give you your Japanese yen to dollar. That is the cross rate. $264 divided by 1.506. That means I require 175 Japanese yen, 0.63, to get $1. 175.3 Japanese yen is needed to buy $1. We have derived this exchange rate based on relationship to pound sterling. Their relationship to pound sterling. That is cross rate. That is cross rate. We have discussed spot rates. We have discussed forward rates. We have discussed cross rates. Our next discussion, currency appreciation and currency depreciation. Please, if you have any question to ask, indicate so that we can take the question. Understanding the principle before we go to a question is very important. Our next discussion, currency appreciation. Currency appreciation, of course, when the number of units of local currency required to buy 1 unit of foreign currency falls. Currency appreciation is a situation where the quantity of local currency needed to buy 1 unit of foreign currency decreases or reduces. That is currency appreciation. For example, assuming in February you require 1,500 equal to $1. In the month of March, 1,200 equal to $1. What has happened to Naira? Naira has appreciated relative to dollar. In the month of February, you require 1,500 Naira to buy $1. In the month of March, you require 1,200 to buy the same $1. In this case, Naira has appreciated relative to dollar. That is currency appreciation. Currency depreciation is the opposite. A situation where the number of units of domestic currency required to buy 1 unit of foreign currency increases. That is currency depreciation. For example, (2024) N$500 equal $1. 2026 N$1,800 equals $1. What has happened to Naira? Naira has depreciated. Number of units of Naira needed to buy the same amount of dollar has increased. In this case, we say Naira has depreciated relative to dollar. Our next discussion. I don't need this. theories of exchange rate determination. Theories of exchange rate determination. What are these theories all about? As finance professional, we should ask ourselves, why is it that 1 naira is not equal to $1? Why is it that 1 naira is not equal to £1? After all, both are just one note, one note. The theory of exchange rate determination will explain reasons why currency values are not the same. Some currencies are weaker, while some are stronger. Why? We have what we call the four-way equivalence. There are 4 theories that explain or that provide consistent explanation for changes in exchange rates. There are 4 theories that explain reasons why exchange rates fluctuate between currencies. These 4 theories are collectively referred to as four-way equivalence. What are these theories? 1, interest rate parity theory. 2, purchasing power parity theory. 3, the Fisher's theory. Excuse me, please. And 4, expectation theory. We start with the first theory. Interest rate parity theory. This theory states that the differences in exchange rates between 2 currencies, the differences in exchange rates between 2 currencies occurs as a result of differences in interest rates between the 2 currencies. I will take that again. Interest rate parity theory. This theory argues that the differences in exchange rates between 2 country currencies is as a result of differences in interest rates between the two countries. According to this theory, a country with higher interest rates, we have its currency value depreciating faster compared to a country with lower interest rates. According to this theory, the interest rate parity theory, a country with higher interest rates, we have its currency value depreciating compared to a country with lower interest rates. For example, check interest rates in Nigeria. If you look at the interest rates in Nigeria, currently interest rates in Nigeria is 26.5%. Currently, in Nigeria today, interest rate is 26.5. Now check interest rates in US. Interest rate in US is 3.75. Look at this. In Nigeria today, Nigeria interest rates 26.5%. United States interest rates 3.75. Get the difference. $26.5 minus 3.75. The difference here is 22.75. According to interest rate parity theory, Naira is expected to depreciate. Naira is expected to depreciate by 22.75% relative to dollar. You can begin to appreciate why Naira is falling. as of today, or as of tonight, interest rates communicated by CBN is 26.5. The interest rate parity theory can be used to forecast exchange rates. Interest rate parity theory can be used to forecast or predict exchange rates between two currencies. If you are giving interest rates for the two countries and the spot rates between the two countries, you can use your interest rate parity theory to forecast exchange rates between the two currencies with the expression below. Look at the expression. Please look at this. For direct quotes, your interest rate parity theory equation is 1 plus FIR divided by 1 plus DIR is equal to X SP SR over FR. For indirect quotes, you have 1 plus FIR divided by 1 plus DIR is equal to FR over SR. Your FIR, foreign interest rates per time period. Your DIR, domestic interest rates per time period. Your FR, forward rates. SR, spot rates. That is theory number 1. Theory number 2, purchasing power, parity theory. The purchasing power parity theory states that exchange rates between two currencies depends on the relative inflation rates within the respective countries. The purchasing power parity theory argues that the exchange rate between two currencies the inflation rates between the two currencies according to this theory, a country with higher inflation rates, we have its currency value depreciating compared to a country with lower inflation rates. According to purchasing power parity theory, country with higher inflation rates. If inflation rate in your country is high, your currency value will depreciate. Compared to a country with lower inflation rates. Check out. What is inflation rate in Nigeria? Inflation rate in Nigeria as at today. What is inflation rate in US? As at last month, inflation rate is 15.06 in Nigeria. Now check US. United States. Last month's inflation rate in US is 2.4. Look at this. As at February in Nigeria, inflation is 15.06. The same February in US, inflation is 2.40. You begin to appreciate why Naira is depreciating. You begin to appreciate the reasons why 1 Naira is not equal to $1. The difference, 12.66. This implies that Naira is expected to depreciate by 12.66% relative to dollar. Naira will depreciate by 12.66 relative to United States dollar. This theory can also be used to forecast exchange rates between two currencies. This theory can also be used to forecast exchange rates between two currencies. If you are given the inflation rate in Nigeria, inflation rate in US, and you are given the spot rates between Naira and dollar, you can forecast exchange rates between Naira and dollar using purchasing power parity equation. Look at the equation. Equation is I divided by 1 plus DI is equal to SR FR. For indirect scopes, the formula will change slightly. 1 plus Fi divided by 1 plus Di is equal to Fr over SR. Your Fi, foreign inflation. Your Di, domestic inflation. Fi means inflation in foreign country. Di means inflation in domestic country. Your XR, spot rates. Your FR, forward rates. The forward rates that you are planning to forecast. The forward rate you are trying to estimate. All right. Number 3. The Fisher's theory, also called the Fisher's effect. The economist developed theory of exchange rates called the Fisher's effect and international Fisher's effect. The Fisher's theory argues that exchange rate between two countries is determined by inflation rates as well as interest rates. The Fisher's effect argues that the differences in exchange rates between two currencies is because of differences in inflation rates. The theory says why we have differences in currency value. Sorry, I had a temporary network glitch. We are on Fisher's effect. Fisher's effect or Fisher's theory argues that the reason why currency values are not the same is because of the impact of inflation. Inflation will affect your cost of borrowing. If there is no inflation, assuming there is no inflation in any country, cost of borrowing in Nigeria will be cost of borrowing in US. If there is no inflation, interest rate in Nigeria will be the same as interest rates in US because of inflation. Inflation affects interest rates. Interest rates affects value of currency. So in summary, Fishers argue that these two factors are responsible for fluctuation in exchange rates. And we have the Fishers 1 plus MCC is equal to 1 plus RCC into bracket multiplied by inflation rate. If you look at this equation, your MCC, money cost of capital, your MCC, your money cost of capital, a cost of capital with inflation. Your RCC, real cost of capital without inflation. Then your inflation rate. The major problem is inflation. Inflation is the reason why interest rates are not the same. If you can tackle inflation, interest rates will be the same. And if interest rates are the same, then value of currency will be the same. What can we do? We can only just hope that it gets better. Expectation theory is the theory that all relevant information is reflected in the market rate of exchange. In other words, the forward exchange rate, that is the expected currencies, expectation. Please, let's continue. And we have spent 1 hour, 15 minutes uninterrupted. Or 1 hour, 20 minutes uninterrupted. We said market expectation or expectation theory. Exchange rate between two countries reflects market expectation about what the spot rate will be in the future. Let me try to explain this. What exchange rate will be between Naira and dollar in 1 month's time? The expected exchange rates between Naira and dollar in 1 month's time reflects market expectation about Naira spot rates and what Naira spot rate will be in future. If the market expects Nigerian currency to rise in future, then Naira will appreciate in value. What is this market? The foreign currency market. At the foreign currency market, different currencies are transacted in this market. And we have market participants. If the market participant expects that Nigerian currency will rise in future, then value of Naira will appreciate. But if that market perceives Nigerian future as being bleak, Naira will depreciate in value. So market expectation, we have impacts on your currency value. We discussed the rule for buying and selling foreign currency. We have discussed theories of exchange rate determination. Let us round up. Let's look at foreign currency risk. What is foreign currency risk? Foreign currency risk is the risk of adverse movements in exchange rates over a credit period. Foreign currency risk, the risk of an adverse movement in exchange rates over a credit period. Foreign currency risk faces importers who invoice in foreign currency. Exporters who invoice in foreign currency. Foreign currency risk will affect an exporter who invoice in a foreign currency, or importers who pay in foreign currency. The exchange rates can be very volatile, meaning the exchange rates can move up and down by a large amount of money, by large amounts. within a short period of time. Exchange rates can fluctuate by large amounts within a fairly short period of time. Exchange rate volatility creates foreign currency risk. Exchange rate volatility creates foreign currency risk for anyone, anybody involved in buying, selling, borrowing, or investing in foreign currency. This foreign currency risk can be classified into three. Please note that. What we call foreign currency risk: volatility in exchange rates. This volatility or fluctuation in exchange rates creates foreign currency risk for any company involved in buying, selling, borrowing, or investing in foreign currency. Foreign currency risk can be classified into three. One, you have translation risk or translation exposure. You have economic risk or exposure. Then you have transaction risk. Let us explain these three. I will start with the third one. Transaction risk. Transaction risk is the foreign exchange risk that arises in transaction between two parties. Transaction risk is the foreign currency risk or foreign exchange risk that arises in transaction between two parties, where the normal transaction currency of each party is different. And when the transaction involves future payments or future receipts, listen to that. Transaction risk is the foreign currency risk that arises in transaction between two parties because the normal transaction currency of each party is different. My currency is dollar. Assuming I'm based in US. Your currency is Naira because you are based in Nigeria. Now, two of us want to transact business. Our currencies are not the same. Now, transaction between us involves a future payment and future receipts. That future transaction, the amount received or paid in domestic currency, that future payments or future receipts, the amount received or paid in your local currency might be different from the amount originally expected. Because there is fluctuation in exchange rates between the dates of the initial transaction and the dates of settlement. There is fluctuation in exchange rates between the dates that transaction is entered into and the date settlement is done. For example, today is 30th March. You are required to make payments on 1st April. Sorry, on 1st of May. You have to make payments on May 1st. Today, 30th March. You enter into a transaction. And that transaction says that transaction is in foreign currency. And you have to pay on 1st of May. The exchange rate between Naira and dollar can fluctuate between 30th March and 1st of May. That will affect your payments. That fluctuation in exchange rates between today, where your transaction is consummated, and 1st of May, when you are supposed to make the actual payment, that gives rise to transaction risk. Number 2, translation risk or exposure. Translation risk arises in international companies with foreign subsidiaries. Translation risk arises in international companies with foreign subsidiary. The income statement and the statement of financial position of the foreign subsidiary will be denominated in the local currency of the subsidiary. And on consolidation, this currency will be translated into the currency of the holding company, the parent company. On consolidation, the currencies of the foreign subsidiary will be converted or translated into the currency of the parent company. In the process of translating financial statements from one currency to another currency, this can give rise to exchange loss or gain. Let us illustrate that briefly. We say translation risk is the risk of losses or gain arising on the translation of financial statements of foreign subsidiary into the currency of the parent company. For the purpose of preparing consolidated accounts, we can illustrate that briefly. Let's take Dangote. Dangote PSC. Dangote is an international company with parent company in Nigeria. Dangote PSC Nigeria. We now have Dangote Ghana. We have Dangote South Africa. XA. The parent company is located in Nigeria. Our currency is Naira. Dangote has subsidiary in Ghana and South Africa. At financial year end, currency year is Naira, cedis, and currency year is Rand. At financial year end, the parent company in Nigeria must prepare consolidated financial statement that covers activities of all foreign subsidiaries. In that case, asset and liability of Dangote Ghana that is denominated in cedis will be converted to naira. Asset and liability of Dangote South Africa denominated in rand will be translated to naira, the currency of the parent company. In the process of translating foreign currency, asset and liability in foreign currency, to the currency of the parent company, that will give rise to translation risk. Lastly, we have economic risk. Economic risk in the context of foreign exchange is the risk that a company might decide to locate its operation in a country where whose currency gain in value. You can decide to locate your company in a country where the currency value is stronger. Economic risk can reduce value of expected future cash flow. Economic risk can reduce value of expected future cash flow on international transactions. This risk can affect ability of a company to compete as a result of exchange rate fluctuation. Economic risk can affect your competitive ability. It can affect remittances from foreign subsidiary to the parent company. Multinational companies are highly exposed to economic risk. Multinationals are highly exposed to economic risk. Look at Mobil Oil. Mobil Oil with parent company in US has investments in Nigeria. You have Mobil Oil Nigeria, a subsidiary of Mobil Oil, United States. You have Mobil Oil in Ghana. Due to economic risk, these investments in foreign countries can be affected. Economic risk can affect remittances from foreign subsidiary to the parents. It can affect ability of a company to compete with other companies in the world. Multinationals are exposed to economic risk. All right, let me hear from you. Question clarification. Our last discussion is on how to manage foreign currency risk. But let me hear from you. Any question? Clarification? All right. Hedging exposure to foreign currency risk. The purpose of hedging, when we say hedge, protecting yourself against risk of exchange rate fluctuation. When you say hedging, what you are trying to do is to protect your business against the risk of exchange rate fluctuation. If you fence your house, you built your house, you now put fence. What you are doing is you are hedging the house. You are trying to protect your house against unwanted visitors. If you insure your car, you are hedging. The purpose of hedging your exposure to risk, foreign currency risk, is to reduce or eliminate actual events from turning out worse against you. You don't want exchange rate to fluctuate and affect you negatively. There are two categories of measures. There are two categories of measure.
We have internal measures. Internal measures and external measures. Your internal measures is also known as non-financial measures. What are these measures? Under internal measures, we have leading and lagging. Internal measures. Internal measures are measures that can be taken, but does not involve financial, non-financial. One of them is leading and lagging. To lead means making payment early. Before the end of the credit period allowed. While to lagging means making payment as late as possible. Possibly by taking longer credits than allowed. Leading or lagging can be used by a company when it is believed that exchange rates will change significantly up or down. If you are either up or down. If the exchange rate you are going to do leading, you are going to make payments early. It's expected to fluctuate up. That is, the exchange rate will rise at future periods. You are going to do leading. You are going to make your payment early now. Before the exchange rate will rise. Then you are going to delay payments. Number 2 method, netting. Netting simply means netting off your future expected in foreign currency against future expected payments in the same foreign currency. Netting. You are netting off your foreign payments against your foreign receipt in the same currency value or currency denomination. In the same currency denominated. The extent to which your future foreign receipts can net off future foreign payments. The extent to which your future foreign payments, your future foreign receipts can net off your future foreign payments represents the extent of foreign currency risk eliminated. So the two transactions are in the same currency. You now net off 20 million payments in pounds, 15 million receipts in pounds. When you get your receipt, you are going to use it to net off your payments. In that case, you have reduced your exposure by netting. Number 3, invoice in home currency. Invoice in home currency. This simply means quote your invoice in your own local currency. You can insist that your foreign customer should pay you in your own local currency. If you are buying goods from China, you can tell your supplier that, please, give me the bill in Naira. In that case, you have eliminated foreign currency risk, because your bill is quoted in your local currency. Number 4, do nothing. Do nothing. That company in international business, international buying and selling, can decide not to take any action. You can decide not to take any actions to hedge your exposure to foreign currency risk. You can decide not to hedge. It is believed that some foreign transaction will result in exchange gain, and some will result in exchange loss. It is believed that some of these foreign transactions will result in exchange gain, while some will result in exchange loss. At the end of the period, the exchange gain will be used to cancel out the exchange loss. Hence, there is no point hedging. Lastly, matching. A company can reduce or eliminate its foreign exchange risk exposure. A company can reduce or eliminate its foreign exchange rate exposure by matching receipts and payments in the same currency. you can try to match the timing of foreign receipt with the timing of foreign payment. The extent to which this transaction can be matched, the extent of foreign currency risk eliminated, matching is closely similar to netting. All right. The key point to note under matching, when a company has receipts and payments in the same foreign currency due at the same time, it can simply match them against each other. By matching, you can reduce your exposure to foreign currency risk. It is only the unmatched aspects that will now be hedged. It's good to stop here. Next class, we are going to look at external measures. That is the financial measures. All right. Please, when you get the video, I'm going to advise you. Listen to this as many times as possible. Any question?
Otherwise, we shall call it a good night.
May God give us a better understanding.